We are officially 10 days into Saints training camp. We are settled in. Football is here. We got preseason games coming up this weekend, Sunday for the Saints as they take on the Chargers. But one of the biggest takeaways so far from Saints training camp outside of the quarterback battle is the fact that the team has some of their rookies starting to stand out and making plays and shining throughout training camp. And no, I'm not talking about the top guys who are taken. I'm not talking about Kelvin Banks. It's kind of hard to tell how he's doing right now. I'm not talking about Tyler Shuck. I'm talking about guys who are standing out as day 3 picks. We have undrafted guys standing out. Overall, the Saints rookie class is starting to make plays and flashing for the Saints so far into camp. And it's exciting to feel excited to watch rookies play football compared to previous seasons where the rookies weren't making plays in training camp. But this year, the Saints have multiple rookies making plays, and I'm excited to see them play. And we're going to break that down in today's video. I'm Cash, and you should take 5 seconds to like the video and subscribe. Help support the channel, help us grow. We're trying to reach 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We just hit 13,000, so shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate the support. Let's keep this thing going, especially with the season coming up. And with all that being said, let's dive into it. Let's start off by talking about a guy who's a friend of the channel. He was on the channel recently, but a lot of Saints fans aren't talking a whole lot about him, and it's honestly reasonable why. But let's talk about 3rd round pick safety Yonas Sanker. Sanker's path to being a day 1 starter week 1 is a little bit blocked right now. It was blocked even before Tyrann Mathieu retired a few weeks ago. But even after Tyrann Mathieu retired, his path to being a day 1 starter and starting for the Saints week 1 isn't there. This team obviously signed Julian Blackmon to be a free safety and fill in where Tyrann Mathieu left off, and it kind of seems like he's set as the starting safety opposite of strong safety Justin Reid. So it kind of feels like that's going to be the safety duo back there, Justin Reid and Julian Blackmon, which in my opinion, where Justin Reid is playing at strong safety, that is where Yonas Sanker's role in this defense would be at strong safety. So it's not like signing Julian Blackmon prevented him from getting on the field. Justin Reid is kind of in the role where Yonas Sanker would be playing. Now, 10 days into training camp, there hasn't been a whole lot of buzz around Yonas Sanker. And to me, I feel like I know why, and it's because of his style of play. He's not like Tyrann Mathieu, he's not like Julian Blackmon, he's like Justin Reid, and Justin Reid is someone who we haven't heard a lot about really in training camp. They're not ball hawks. Justin Reid is not a ball hawk, and neither is Yonas Sanker, but those guys make their presence known, and you feel the presence when the pads come on and when you get into live action in game full speed. And given the fact that the Saints obviously aren't going full force and trying to knock each other out and play big hits, Justin Reid hasn't been standing out, and there hasn't been a whole lot of talk about in terms of Yonas Sanker. But the other day when the Saints had the pads on, Yonas Sanker did start to make his presence known and flash on tape. The other day, Nick Underhill tweeted out that the Saints might have something in safety Yonas Sanker, which was good to hear because this was kind of the first thing that we heard about him throughout training camp. But again, I think a lot of that has to do with his playing style. He's going to make his presence known when the pads and everything's 100% full go. And then you pull some of the footage from that practice. Number 33, Yonas Sanker flying to the ball. Where is he at? Where's number 33? Here he is right there. I believe that's him. Yeah, 33. Just watch him on the play. Shoot to the gap like a missile. And this is if he doesn't make this play, this is all open for the running back Marcus Yarns to go down the sideline. And he just shoots through like a missile and pops out on film. Does an excellent job reading the run play, and then he does it again in another play right here. Shoots like a missile, forces the run back inside, makes contact. You see him kind of processing things. He's doing a nice job forcing the stuff back inside, and he's a thumper. He's going to lay hits, which is why he hasn't been standing out at camp so far. And you also might have had a tip on this pass from Tyler Shuck looking for tight end Seth Green. Yonas Sanker might have gotten a hand on it. I can't tell from the footage, but based on this photo, it looks like he may have gotten a finger on it to prevent it from being caught for a touchdown. So the dude flies like a missile, and the Saints need that, especially in the run defense, which was absolutely horrible last season. So Yonas Sanker obviously doesn't have a path to be a day 1 starter, but maybe you put him in there as a box safety on occasional downs. If it's like an obvious run down, you put him in there in the box to help with the run. He's a guy who flashes for sure. And once the preseason game starts, I feel like he's a guy who's really going to pop off on screen with his speed, the way he reads the field, the quarterbacks, and the way he processes things. I think this Sunday, he's going to be someone who we come away and feel really good about because of the way he plays football. The next rookie whose name has been popping up consistently in camp is cornerback Quincy Riley. this guy has been making a lot of plays. Now, there has been bad moments as well. I'm not saying he's been locked down. There has been plays where Mason Tipton beat him. There's been plays where Chris Olave beat him. There's been plays where he's gotten beat, and that's obviously going to happen to every corner who's ever played football ever. But I think for the most part, for a 4th round pick, day 3 rookie who isn't necessarily a starter at the moment, he's been making a lot of plays and standing out. He was the Saints' 2nd, 4th round pick, and at a position that needs quite a bit of help, or needed a lot of help, especially after losing Paulson Adebo in free agency to the New York Giants. And of course, they traded Marshawn Lattimore back in November, almost a year ago, which is crazy to think about. So Quincy Riley is coming in to help a position group that needs it. And he's off to a pretty damn good start. He currently has 2 interceptions. He's tied with Nephi Sewell for the most interceptions on the team in camp so far. He nearly had a 3rd, almost picking off Tyler Shuck, but he could not get 2 feet inbounds. But this guy just has an act for making plays on the football. This was the first pick he had of camp. Both of his picks came on Spencer Rattler. This wasn't in team drills. Rattler rolls out right, looking, and picked it off. Rattler said he was trying to throw it away, didn't get enough power on it, but Riley does a nice job adjusting and making a really nice play on the football, runs, and then takes a knee smartly in the celebration. And that was the first interception of camp. So Quincy Riley, really nice play right there. And then he had this other interception on Spencer Rattler during 7-on-7 drills. Another situation where Rattler did not get enough power on the ball. And he comes in and makes an excellent high point pass, or high point play, up in the air, and gets the interception. Bub Means should have tried to do a better job of trying to prevent the interception, but he makes an excellent play on the ball up in the air. And that's what you want to see from the 4th round pick rookie. I know this is going to be a little bit hard to see, so I'll probably put the full clip on screen and get rid of my face out in this corner. But Quincy Riley does an excellent job all the way over here. There's going to be a little hitch corner comeback route over on the far side of the field, and he makes a nice diving play to break up the pass. So that's an excellent job from Riley, reading the play, nice break on the ball, and getting the pass break up. And this was Riley's nearly 3rd interception of camp, covering Chris Olave. This is going against the first team offense, I believe, with Tyler Shuck at quarterback, and Quincy Riley's covering Chris Olave. Not an easy guy to cover. Shuck, I don't know exactly what happened, if he just tries to throw this away and doesn't get enough power. If he's trying to give Olave a one-on-one ball, this is not a great pass. And then Riley, another excellent play on the ball, gets the interception, high points it, but just could not get 2 feet inbounds. Really good rep from the rookie, going against maybe the best, or at least most talented player on the team. Excellent job from Quincy Riley, who almost got his 3rd pick of camp. It's really nice to see Quincy Riley having a good camp to this point, especially after not participating in really rookie minicamp or OTAs or minicamp for that matter, because he had a procedure on his foot and was out for a little bit of time. So obviously his development might be a little bit slower, learning the playbook and just getting up to NFL speed, but he's been making plays, and it's good to see him making plays after missing time early on in the offseason programs. What I like about Quincy Riley is that he seems to just have an act for the ball. Like I said earlier, he seems to be aggressive on the ball, and he kind of reminds me of Paulson Adebo. And it's hilarious that he's wearing number 29 like Paulson Adebo. I don't think he's going to be like a lockdown corner. He's going to lose some reps, of course, but I feel like he's a guy who is going to make a lot of interceptions and be a ball hawk for the defense, which is needed because they don't really have a ball hawk right now. They lost Adebo, who was their ball hawk, and then Tyrann Mathieu retired, who is their other ball hawk. So I don't know if Kool-Aid McKinstry's a guy who's going to be getting 4 interceptions a season. Alontae Taylor, his most is 2 interceptions in the season, and that came in the final 3 games of 23. And Isaac Adams not going to be a ball hawk. So Quincy Riley kind of fits that role of a guy who's going to see the ball and go get it and make a play on that. And I think that's needed, especially if he's playing opposite and starting opposite of Kool-Aid McKinstry, who to this point might be the new warden and locking stuff down on his side of the field. I like what he's done so far, but of course we got to see it happen on Sunday and through these preseason games coming up. But I'm excited to see him play and see how he fits onto this defense. And the final rookie I want to talk about is another day 3 pick and linebacker Danny Stutsman. Now, we did a video about him standing out and flashing and making plays recently, so I'm not going to go into full detail about how Danny Stutsman has been doing, but it just feels like every single day this guy is making a play in the run game, and then the next day he's making a play in pass coverage and getting a pass breakup. This guy is just making plays over and over every single day, and it just feels like the Saints found themselves a stud in Danny Stutsman. See what I did there? He was my favorite selection for the Saints back in April, and he continues to grow and be one of my favorite picks from that draft every single day of camp. We've mentioned, of course, that he had the interception on Quincy Riley, which was a great play by him, going up in the air, and he's just showcasing that he's the cracker with the juice. He showcased his lateral movement and run defense on this Chris Olave jet sweep play, as you see on your screen. Obviously, he wasn't allowed to hit him, but if they were in pads, I don't know if Chris Olave breaks a tackle from Danny Stutsman. But he also just continues to make more plays every single day, and it feels like it's going to be hard to keep this guy off the field if he keeps doing this. I mean, it feels like it's going to be hard to keep him off the field based off of training camp footage and notes, but if he has one good preseason game, or if he has two good preseason games, you know the fans are going to be calling for him to be playing over Pete Werner. And as a rookie guy, or as a rookie, I would want the rookie to play over Pete Werner if he's making plays and standing out and doing a lot of really good things. Not only does he bring a lot of energy and he's making a lot of plays, but he's also taking on a big responsibility. He has a green dot on his helmet with the second team defense, which means that he's calling the defensive plays, he's breaking down the huddles, and that's awesome to hear from a rookie. And it feels like he might already be the third linebacker on the team. Him and Nephi So are competing, but great personality, takes on a big responsibility, and he's making a lot of plays, and he might be one of the stars of training camp to this point, and I'm really excited to see this guy play. Here's some of the footage from Danny Stutsman on August 3rd, Sunday's practice from New Orleans Football. This is a big hit on Kendra Miller, and he doesn't even go full force. He pulls up at the last second, so he doesn't hit him as hard, and he still pops him pretty good. Really nice pass breakup right here on Spencer Rattler, who's looking for Chris Olave. Reads it really nicely in that zone, reads the quarterback's eyes, does an excellent job in coverage there. And the coverage was a big knock on his college tape, and he's done an excellent job, I think, so far in coverage for the Saints. Does a nice job on this next play, reading the flat and getting out there and getting the tackle immediately. Just the guy who flies all over the field, makes plays all over the place, and I think once the pads come on for preseason games and we see them playing other teams, he's going to be another guy like Yonas Sanker who stands out. For Danny Stutsman, I don't really got too much else to say. We did a video on him recently, so don't want to overdo it or reiterate things I've already said. But I'm loving the addition of Danny Stutsman, as well as so far Yonas Sanker and Quincy Riley, of course. Two other rookies who have been standing out recently as well. Now, I'm not going to go over the other rookies in the draft class like Kelvin Banks and Shock and Broughton. Those guys haven't really stood out too much yet, but maybe they'll stand out in the preseason game. Now, there is one rookie who has been standing out and he went undrafted, and that's defensive end Justine Davis. He's been making sacks, creating hits, does an excellent job in the run defense. He was on the show recently, or on the channel recently. Really cool dude, rooting for him. And he's at an edge position where it's wide open outside of Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, and Chase Young. And Justine Davis, I think, is one of the guys who's been standing out as a pass rusher and as an undrafted rookie. It'd be exciting to see him make the team. Really rooting for him, and hopefully he can make the team and continue to stand out. But he's definitely been one of the guys and rookies standing out for the team. And Nick Underhill mentions right here that Fidel Diggs is starting to stand out a little bit, the 7th round pick, so that's pretty good to hear. The 7th round pick tight end Maliki Matavo, he's been getting like 2 to 3 solid catches every day, so it sounds like those guys are maybe doing a little bit more, and that's pretty exciting as well as 7th round picks. But overall, I think it's a pretty good start for this rookie draft class. Let me know what you make of the Saints rookie standing out to this point, 10 days into camp. It feels good to feel excited about rookie players again compared to other years and not feeling excited about any of the rookies. So let me know who you're excited to see on Sunday from this rookie class. Let me know what you make of them standing out. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, help support the channel. I'm Cash, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.